A lot of people kind of get interested in connecting with me online, which is great. I like talking to people who I wouldn't normally be able to associate with. Gaming for me is definitely one of the most social experiences I have, because especially in here, this is where I always want to come and stream and play, because then you're with people. It's more fun to play games together, that's my opinion.
It's brought me to a lot of like-minded people that share not only gaming as an interest, but many, many other things. It gets you to, if you're a little bit socially awkward, it's good to be able to have a game that you're kind of bonding over and not have to figure out how to navigate a conversation constantly.
You can make friends with people that you weren't originally friends with because obviously you both play the same game, or on a certain game you're in the same social circle. So I think there's definite social benefits. I know a lot of people who are kind of introverts who finally have a group of friends because they feel more comfortable, talking when they're on video games.
My son, all of his friends use it. He interacts with his friends. His social life almost revolves around online gaming with his friends, but that's because he's online. So we felt that we couldn't say, you're not going online, you're not gaming.
Yeah, to be honest, I think it's quite easy. There's a lot of games that are pay to win. Obviously, you'll know there's a lot of games that you have to put a lot of money into to do well. And because of people how much they want to be better than their friends, let's say, or just they want to do well in the game every day, they want to actually enjoy what they're doing, they'll just put so much money into it. People that can't even afford it. I know guys that have put in £2,000 off a credit card that they can't even afford because they're in uni at the minute. They're already taking out loans. They just throw in extra money just to buy loot crates and all these sort of things. Just I've never understood that, to be honest, but it is definitely easy to, I think, appeal to younger people or people that haven't got as much experience with handling money, because you can just see it going into a screen. You don't see it physically coming out your bank account until you'd actually notice, which is, I think, is a really dangerous thing, but it's definitely something I think is easy to do for big gaming companies.
You can't just buy a game anymore. You only get part of it or whatever. Or everything's now free. And then you go and you actually play the game, and then you realise, oh, I can only do so much before I buy more stuff to get all the good stuff. They make it so easy to spend money. Your bank account's connected with your Xbox account, your Epic account, whatever. So you're just on it, and it's 2 clicks of a button and that's the money gone. The prices that game developers kind of set nowadays is a bit, you're talking £8 minimum.
Any time that my son wanted to spend money on gaming, his mother types in the password. It wasn't costing us money, it was costing him money. And I had discussions with my son about the value he was getting out of that. We tried to balance that, but essentially I found out about that through the way we structured the payments. Was, I need a skin pack for this character in my game, I need this, I need that.
I think for me, the first thing that I had microtransactions for was Gears of War. You can play some extra missions and get a couple of extra skins at the cost of a fiver or tenner or something. You wind up picking up just another couple of cool skins for that game you're playing, or you buy a bundle for StarCraft, and if you play a certain amount over this period of time, you unlock more skins and more skins for all of you guys. There's no practical effect, it just looks cool. But as long as it's easy to say yes, you just say yes. So I do think there are similarities between the way Magic's business model has moved towards and loot boxes. If you're playing the game in its more traditional form, the paper and in-store buying booster packs of 14, 15 cards, you have the chance of opening something that's anything in value between being a 50p rare, which is not all that great, to something that winds up being worth 30 quid.
It's over £100 anyway in the last 6 months. He's spending Christmas money, he's spending birthday money, he's spending chore money, and he's asking us for money as well. So yeah, it's starting to become substantial amounts of money.
How much much have I spent on Fortnite? It's a question I try not to ask myself as often as possible. It's probably pretty reasonable. I feel like it's under the £250 mark. I don't think I've quite surpassed that yet. I know a lot of people who have, however, but I try not to.
I've spent, we're talking like heading towards £1,000 on one game. Technically, black market value of my account is like, I could sell it online for like 1,500. I don't feel good about it because I spent so much, because things are expensive on that game, and all it is a cosmetic item, a pickaxe, a skin, whatever.
Past year, I'd probably say about 2,000 to 3,000, I'd imagine. But I'd say probably about 400 of it's been my own money, and that was purely just in the last month because I was waiting for the new game to come out, so I just spent a lot of money on FIFA for absolutely no reason, to be honest. But my team normally pay for like the things like for Call of Duty wise, like loot crates and all these sort of things, so I don't really have to pay for any of that. But
the gaming industry does have a big responsibility. I feel very much that young people are being manipulated and being exploited.
The media and parents like should kind of like teaching kids is important, because game developers aren't going to change that aspect of it. The like Doodle Jump, you hopped on it back in the day and it said this game is addictive, be aware of that. That's very rare to see that. Especially like you take games like Fortnite, where it's revolutionised a generation of kids. It's about teaching kids that it should be a treat or whatever. It shouldn't be something that you just play all the time, because then it can get out of hand. It can take over.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, they are like, it is them that's selling it, and they are making it look very appealing to buy in-game stuff, because at the end of the day, that's their business, that's their market, that's how they. Especially Fortnite, like Epic release a free game, all of their money that they get from the game is either from kind of advertising, content creation, but I would say probably 95% of the money they get is from in-game purchases, and it makes things tough for parents or such when they're saying, what are you doing? You've spent like £100 this month on stuff that isn't even physical, So there's two sides to the argument. But they're definitely, they make it very, very desirable. You kind of want to buy everything that's in the game. But I don't know if that makes them bad for doing a good job at their job.
I think that there is an onus on game designers and developers to be careful with how much they're making their content addictive. I think it's a slippery slope. They've got to balance having a good business model and being responsible. If the game allows you to pay to win, that's more harmful than if it's something like being able to get a new skin for your character, which is cosmetic only. You can still play the game and enjoy, but you don't have to reach for your wallet to keep taking part.
The gaming industry has to take responsibility. It has to be far more accountable in terms of the impact that gaming has on young people. I think obviously in the last few years, the addictive nature of gaming has come to the fore. There's now an official diagnosis of gaming addiction, and it has a serious impact on young people's well-being. And I think they do need to really step up to it, because they are making billions of dollars out of it.